Good morning. It's another bad video by Jenna Strawberry. Just waking up. Oh. Uh. Oh. God. I know what I want to talk about, but I'm starting to feel like all I do is complain and yell, but uh. So, I don't know, excuse me, how much all you out there know about purity culture. Excuse me, I hadn't even heard that term or those terms like purity culture. I guess it's one term, two-word term. That makes sense? I don't remember. Anyway, purity culture. I heard of rape culture before I heard of purity culture, and it was just coming out of being a Jehovah's Witness. And I was a Jehovah's Witness until age 24. Um, I'm 32 now, just turned this year, and yeah, so that's where I'm coming from, I guess. Um, when I heard of rape culture, which is some concept that there's a culture that allows men to rape or something, or a culture that tells men it's a woman's fault and she was asking for it and stuff like that. Like, that's what rape culture is supposed to be. And I thought they were saying, like, the whole world is rape culture. And I thought that was a little extreme because, people are offended when you tell them no one cares about rape because we do. We shouldn't tell people that. But it is hard when you're trying to fight for something that feels like it will never happen, especially when you look back on history. It feels really disgusting to realize, like, how bad things used to be for so long, but it was also a completely different context. It's like we're taking just the stuff we want and just what we need from the past, and it's not all the same as it used to be. We're not the same as we used to be. And I think that's a good thing. I don't want to be monkeys in the jungle, okay? Some stuff about that seems nice, but I literally saw a video before where monkeys eat the weak one. Just for some reason, all the monkeys are mad at this one monkey, and they all just literally eat him to death, like alive. So, yeah, that's it's a that kind of gives you some understanding thinking about that too. Um, it helps you understand why people are in denial about our mammalness, our relationship to the primates, um, the other creatures on this planet. We're born here on this planet, folks, and we don't know what we looked like because when was it us and when did it become what we are now? That's very subjective, I guess. Um, but anyway, so there's all that. And I think it's part of why this subject, this whole sex, like sexual rights and stuff, um, and it's not just for women, but yeah, women or only men in prison, like, it's just like nasty. I mean, I've heard so many rape jokes about men in prison. Don't drop the soap. And then, well, that one is like, reminds me of The Office. And Michael Scott doing a fake prison thing, pretending like he knows about prison. Um, so that makes me laugh, but in reality, that's really disgusting. And it's disgusting that it's that permeated into pop culture that we can say something like that, or think something like that, or hear something like that, and like not get it. And not feel bad, and not think that's fucked up and men don't deserve to get raped. What if it was your dad? What if it was your brother? What if it was your son or your cousin? You want that for them? You know? Because that's the same thing we're saying about women. And this brings it back to purity culture because it's like, I think that is what it used to mean to some people to be like have your father as the man of your life until you find someone safe enough to protect you and he hands you off. You know what I mean? Like, I think I get that that's the sweet side of the whole concept. I just think it's completely outdated, like monkeys eating each other. I think we're past that. Women are not slaves. Women will not be owned by a man any longer. That ship has sailed. Alright? We're not doing that. We're not ever doing that. Ever again. Okay? Not unless you have a contract and that's what they wanted. You know what I mean? Because that's allowed. You can be a slave if you find someone who's willing to do it with you legally. And chances are you'll be happy. Or if you don't like them, you find a new slave master. Because you're allowed. Because you're not really physically or literally legally owned. You know what I mean? Like a slave. We don't do that anymore. So I'm really against practices that whitewash slavery, any kind, you know. And I just think that it's not about judging the past. We can see the nostalgia of the past. We still have plenty of nice traditions. I mean, men and women when you're married, both wearing a ring. People still do that all the time to show that you're like partnered to the other person or that you're committed and like I'm already taken. Whatever. Like we do lots of romantic things, you know. And romance isn't just about sex. A girl could have romance with her father platonically, you know? But that doesn't mean we should dress them up in little wedding dresses and literally put a ring on their finger. Um, and especially when child molestation is still a problem in religious groups, especially traditional religious groups like Catholicism and Jehovah's Witnesses. And I know there have been more, but as far as I know, they were mostly smaller groups. It's probably happened all over everywhere. And I know if you keep looking further into the past, then even more, So, like, at some point, way in the past, when we're looking back at ourselves and we can't tell the difference between ourselves and an animal, because we were one. Yeah, way back then, there was no difference between sex and rape. Basically, free for all, monkeys in the jungle, wild animals. Just whatever we do, whatever you can survive, you know what I mean? I know some people think that that's exciting idea, but partly that's because we're super bored. And life is restrictive. Partly it's because the government doesn't care if we die or not. I think I think the government is a huge problem. Yeah. So it's not just the little groups. Everybody needs leadership that actually looks out for them. And it's not fun feeling like a slave to the government either, feeling like they own us. We pay them anytime they tell us, but they don't have to pay us, you know? We're lucky they gave us money this year, you know? That was awesome. That practically never happens. Anything like that. Even if we die out here. Fuck us, you know? That's what it's like to be a slave. So I don't believe in making a little girl a slave to her father. It's already like that. The power imbalance, especially in like a traditional male led group where the man is considered to be the head of the family, what he says goes. You don't need to add to that and tell the girl she's his, like her virginity is, you know what I mean? Don't tell her that. And anyway, so I've just been thinking about all that stuff, and it's like, rape is not respecting the other person and just owning their body like it belongs to you without consent. That is giving a child to her father. Even the concept, you know what I mean? Telling her body's not hers. Telling her she belongs to God or that she belongs to her dad, you know? And not to her. And then she's gonna get handed off to man. That's promoting rape culture. Purity culture promotes rape culture. Purity culture creates rape culture. Purity culture perpetuates rape culture. Women have to be seen as equals. Women have to know how to be equal to a man and to each other for our own sense of identity and strength. People can't stand up for themselves if they literally believe that they don't own their body. You know what I mean? You can't expect life to get better or, you know, but that's what conservatism is all about, never changing, apparently. I thought conservation is a good idea, but the conservatives don't seem to care about conserving effing anything so that it survives in a healthy way. And the forests are still effing disappearing. I'm from Idaho, and the trees there are gone. I mean, there's still a lot. It was a huge forest, you know what I mean? But so many trees are gone. And it's a red state. Where's the conservation? I don't see it. And all the fucking fracking? Who's doing that? The Republican side. So, fucking fuck. Sorry for another downer video, you guys. It gets so tiring. Just looking for moral support and finding so many people just lost and without any effing good ideas about what to do, you know? Anyway, this video, I'm gonna dedicate it to God is Gray. Gray is Bay. That hashtag Gray is Bay. Not referencing the 50 Shades of Grey, although apparently you can use that hashtag for that too. And hey, they're like sort of related because that movie is all about having consent. And he doesn't just get to do whatever he wants to her without her permission, alright? She has to say yes. It's supposed to be nice. Anyway, so yeah, shout out to Brenda from God is Gray, and I've been watching her latest videos, and the one about the daughter of the cult who fucking beats all their children. The old one. Who knew there was still more than one going on, but it figures. It figures, and that is worse than Jehovah's Witnesses. Because if they're doing that, what are the chances of who is raping who and keeping it a secret? Because that's not the biggest problem. And that's what happens is that you end up with a story like that, you end up having to limit what you actually tell. And so we don't know that that's not the... I mean, being beaten to death, apparently several children were beaten to death by this religious group's leader, or by his teachings, teaching the followers to just fucking beat their children because to be just like competitive with them and stuff. This guy was a psycho. And you know what? Like, I did feel lucky. And that doesn't happen to me all that often because my childhood was really rough. And it was really hard. And I learned about a lot of bad things. And I experienced a lot of bad things. And my parents did not get along. That's never good. You know, hard to feel like I had my own life. And I still feel like I don't know what my life's about, you know what I mean? Besides fixing my parents and trying to save my siblings, trying to save all the lost children of the world because you just can't stop feeling them. And what's the point of being alive alone while other people are suffering? At some point, I think you just can't forget anymore. So anyways, thank you for watching, and we'll see y'all later. Bye.